Hey guys, how are you? It's actually Sunday, the 19th of December, and we all of us experienced that big galactic new full moon in Gemini last night. Unfortunately, it was quite warm here this evening, so we had some clouds. So unfortunately, I couldn't see it as clearly as I could the night before, but it was quite beautiful. So if you did get to view it, that's great. But the key thing for me about this Gemini energy, um, certainly this full moon illumination, like, this grand flush, if you like, it's about information, and I think it's about statistics. And I've spoken about this, and I put a little video on just yesterday as the quickie, because I was going out with a friend yesterday, so I didn't have time to do a full report for you. But I think that really sort of epitomised where I was going, and it did illustrate um, what I'm trying to talk about really when I talk about Gemini energy, because it is left brain energy. It's about logic. What is logical and what is illogical. What has been hidden in the Neptune in Pisces retrograde. You know what has been hidden in the fog, right? Um, and also, what is it that we don't actually want to. Neptune energy is very delicate. It's a delicate energy, and it's sometimes we don't want to confront. We like everything to be peaceful and groovy and just stay in that chill out space. And I think that now, as Neptune is beginning to move uh, direct, right, which I'm thrilled about, because I'm a Venus in Gemini in that 12th house, so it's important for me, my feelings, my thoughts, everything. um, you know, sorry. So I'm saying that I think that as the windscreen, if you like, as we get this, when Neptune's moving forward, I think that we're going to be able to see through this fog of delusion and deceit, guys, that frankly, we've been led down the garden path. And I remember at the very start of this pandemic, one of my best friends lost her mum, along with another 12 um, old people within a care home. And as we've worked through this last year, uh, we're now acknowledging and realizing that there are things that have been hidden in that retrograde energy of Neptune. And I actually believe now, as we're moving forward, certainly as we've been coming through Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is about seeking the truth. Um, and I think certainly as we work through this energy of Scorpio, Scorpio being that, the archaeologist, Scorpio being the detective, the Sherlock Holmes, if you like, of the gang. I think a lot of us have been questioning. And it was really interesting with the energy of that moon that Lord Frost has said ta-ta. He's divorced himself. Well, that for me I'm smiling at, because that for me reflects Saturn in Aquarius. All right, Saturn is about government. Yes, it is. It's about governmental systems. It's about societal system, the way we built those systems, our banking systems, our taxing, all of it. And I think now, with Saturn in Aquarius, we've also been subject to extremes of governing, and we've seen and understood that. And I think now, with this full moon that we experienced, I think more of us will have woken up this morning thinking, hang on, things don't add up at all. There was one other concern that really, really upset me this morning, because I caught Rick Tace on Talk Radio. I like Richard Tace. I think he's a good bloke. Actually, I think he'd be good in government. Um, but he was talking to Dr. Claire Craig about the steroid asthma um, drug that is very, very good. It's an inhaler, apparently, and has been prescribed for many, many years. And now we believe that the NHS and all doctors and pharmaceutical people, they are saying it cannot be used to help people in the early stages of this flu problem. So it can, and obviously we are going into flu season as well. It's all of this, and we are relatively going into flu season now. you know, this Gemini energy is going to help anybody who's not quite sure where we are with it. I really feel that as we're moving forward now, with this sort of new knowledge, right, where we've questions and we're moving forward, I think that this is a time when there's going to be more Lord Frosts. I think he is a pioneer. I think he's a lone wolf rebel at the minute, but actually he's not. There's another 105 behind him apparently. And there's going to be other people that are going to jump in ship, I think, as far as Labour are concerned, because anybody who, I can't believe, oh, well, there you go, let's start me on that. But what I'm basically saying is none of us are happy with the way that government has been running the show, right? So what are we going to do about it? So I think there's going to be more rebellion, Saturn in Aquarius from the backbenchers, so we know now. I certainly think that there's going to be more medical whistleblowers that should be now starting to wake up, because when I got the report this morning about the inhaler, I thought, hang on a minute here. This has reminded me so much about what's happening in the US with the Eye for the Engine stuff that I can't mention anymore, and the other drugs that are perfectly acceptable and do help and do save lives. And yet our government, the NHS, has been run into the ground intentionally, in my view. They've been wanting to privatise for a long, long time. I have to be frank with you, and I know it sounds very callous, but I think it's all about dead wood and cutting away that dead wood, whichever way you want to interpret that. I think that more and more people are waking up to it, and I think with Jupiter energy in the sky as well, I think that's great, because ultimately it does give us hope, it does give us opportunity. We've still got Jupiter in Aquarius, so yeah, Aquarius is about technology and so on and so forth, an expansion of technology, but that's a worry for me, because I'm thinking, where's that going? And we all know where that's going. You know, I know Israel have just actually introduced, they're really pushing to get it through their law. I mean, complete blanket surveillance, facial recognition, everything. That's throughout the whole of Israel. And yet Israel are really struggling with the death toll at the moment. And Israel, of course, is one of the most fully vaccinated nations on the planet. So, you know, questions need to be asked, and answers need to be sought. And I think that as we move in now with this Gemini, this big full moon, I feel confident that it's opened up massive floodgates now. And I do feel we're going to see an awful lot of changes. Governmental ones possibly to do with shifting of position, but I also feel that despite the fact that the extremists, what I call these extreme woke gang, with the Labour Party basically, at the end of the day, you know, they're going to want to bulldoze with their ideas and ideals, but I do think there's going to be a lot of resistance from people like myself. And believe me, I'm quite onto, you know, I like change, I like innovation, it's brilliant, it's admirable, but not at the detriment of the people who actually fund it, right? And my worry is where we're going with this NHS, because there are sufficient beds, there are sufficient ambulances. You do not have to like the sound of the load badly injured for 12 hours, and that was not fake news, by the way. Neither was the fact that the postman would not pick up a 73-year-old lady who had taken a fall in her driveway and had laid there, and he walked away and left her there. I mean, I don't know, was that because he was afraid to pick her up? Was he afraid that he was going to catch something? You know, is that where we are? Has society, Capricorn energy, society, you know, is that where we are? And we're creating it. They're doing it to us. They're making these divides. They're shoving a wedge between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. You know, and it's difficult. And I actually have, just very recently, I mean, I experienced apartheid many decades ago when I lived in South Africa during the apartheid years, and yeah, I said my bit then as well. But for me, I very recently experienced a degree of apartheid because I wasn't able to have a drink in a space where, you know, I wasn't willing to show what was required. And, you know, no matter what your belief is there, in or out, shake it all about, that's not right. You know, we don't want to go back there. And I think that as we're moving through this moon energy, you know, and these are powerful energies, these are going to be lasting. You know, this moon energy is going to be there for a while, 10 days, even beyond that, right? I mean, and the eclipses as well. And then we've got the nodal shift into Taurus and Scorpio, right? It's going to be very interesting. Don't forget, Pluto rules Scorpio, still in Capricorn. And of course, we've got Taurus energy. We've got Uranus in Taurus, guys, right? The rebel. And we've got Neptune in the middle and the deep blue sea, really. The devil and the deep blue sea. I mean, this is where we're going. And I think that, you know, I'm not going to sugar this up and put loads of sprinkles on it, but I am hopeful with my Sag moon that Jupiter in Pisces is going to bring us together in faith, in whatever faith that is. But then again, when we've got cathedrals in London that are closing their doors to the unvaccinated for midnight mass, I mean, I'm not quite sure what that means, right? And the only way we're going to stop this is to stop the prejudices and stop this Saturnian dense energy of, you know, conformity. And the only way we're going to do that is to break away from it. So as far as Lord Frost is concerned, right, I'm waiting for all the other gang to come up behind him, because that's what we need. And I still feel, forgive me, that the dinosaurs should be culled, but I do feel, or the majority of them, as far as politicians are concerned, these long held traditional sort of stick in the mud, not going to budge energies are not going to hack it as we're going forward. So we need change, we need innovation, we need freshness, we need newness, but we don't need it to be, you know, thrown in front of us in such an extreme way, right? And I think that's the mistake that they're going to make. And I think that if we come together when Jupiter makes that shift into Pisces, and we come together in faith, it doesn't matter that we may not share the same faiths, but at the end of the day we come together, then I think that's important. And all I can say is that Venus now, having moved station retrograde today, it does allow us to go back and look at our value systems, look at what we've believed in, look at, certainly with Neptune being still in Pisces but moving direct, and Jupiter beliefs moving into Pisces. I think it's the 29th. I may have that wrong, guys, but I do think it's around that time towards the very end. I think it's the 29th. So we've got all of that. So yeah, Capricorn, stoic, standing our ground, doing what we need to do. Mars in Sagittarius, you know, let's do it wisely. Mars is in Sag for quite a while now, so let's do that. As I said, Mercury's made that move into Capricorn as well, so yeah, it's heavy, but it's going to be joyful, hopefully. And all I can say to you is just keep going. You know, we just got to keep going. And if you are fortunate enough to be able to spend time with your people and the people that you love, yeah, just have a great one and just love them all up, you know, shower them in it. That's it. So take it easy, guys, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye now.